host Locke, and this is the podcast where we drink, smoke, and bullshit about the life of a historic criminal. Now we're talking outlaws and gangsters. We're not going to cover too many serial killers. That's just a little bit dark for me, and this ain't no true crime podcast. Honestly, you can't call this a history podcast because I'm no historian. I'm just a history fan that does some research and bullshits about it with his friends. So speaking of my friends, let me introduce you to my co-host. First with us today, we got Canton.
What up?
And then with us today for the first time on the show, we got my boy Tyler.
What up, what up?
And then back with us, we got Duke, Dan the man.
Oh, yeah. What up? Dan Duke, back again.
So we'll go ahead and knock out our drink round table real quick. You want to start us off, Canton?
Yeah, I went with Arbor Brewing Company. It's called Trail Light Raspberry. I don't know. This description. Activated raspberry ale brewed with hibiscus. I don't know how you activate a raspberry. I'm going to have to Google that later.
Will you listen to some Tony Robbins?
I think
and
that's
you get it real motivated?
I think so. Or some
gets pumped up?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do.
Joe Rogan gives him a halftime speech and just activates.
Yeah, because it shows a raspberry on a bicycle, which is very Ann Arbor.
I mean, that's active.
Yeah, that's active. So
I do some diet beers sometimes and shit.
Oh, you poor man.
I know. Whatever.
Sometimes he goes half-hearted.
Hey, but fucking not with craft beers. You got between half-hearted and then Shorts has like the Furry Buddy and the Light Huma. There's a few light beers you can get. That's some craft beers.
Yeah, but I doubt it's even making a difference though.
Well, because I just drink twice as much. So
yeah. But I mean, like usually with those, you don't really smash them anyways. Well, you might.
Yeah. That's kind of how I drink.
Yeah.
All right. So Tyler, it's your first time on the show. I know you're not a big craft beer drinker, but you went out and grabbed something for the occasion.
Aw, something a little
Some
sweet
Unity
and special.
Vibration, the kombucha.
What is that?
The blueberry.
Oh, shit.
That's your first time ever trying it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
What do you think?
It's good. It's not bad.
Some active enzymes in there.
Some 8%.
Your beer is activated too?
Is it?
Yeah, it's got kombucha's like
See, I
for
don't
your
even know
gut
what
health.
kombucha is.
And
for your stomach?
If I was more of a hippie, I'd be able to explain it to you, but it's like
that was gonna be my question. What's kombucha?
From what I understand, like the ones that I've drank before, they're like there's active cultures in there to help with your digestion. It's like for your gut health.
God damn, what are you guys doing? Fitness beers over there? Jesus Christ.
I'm doing crunches as we speak, so yeah.
So it's like the lady from True Lies' yogurt.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, both you guys got some healthy. You got yogurt beer. You got
activated
kombucha
beer.
Shit. You got.
And here I was talking about hipsters.
Man.
I just became one.
You guys ride here on a tandem bicycle?
The one that's on here.
Yep, like a couple strawberries. Look, and both berries, strawberries, blueberries. We're just having a berry Christmas right
We're having
here.
a theme. Do you feel left out? What do you got?
I went way in the opposite direction. So I got the Founders KBS stouts, which
one?
It's the maple Mackinac fudge.
See, he went the opposite of diet beer.
Yeah.
He went with fudge beer.
Yeah, that's what I usually.
Fuck your bicycles.
Yeah. My shit's usually much darker.
It's a piece of fudge and a fucking rickshaw and shit, getting dragged around town and shit. That's what I got to drink.
Oh yeah.
But it's they're like limited edition. I mean, the KBS is always good. I usually don't drink them because that's usually a little out of my pay grade. But
oh yeah,
I fucking was able to spoil myself.
Yeah, they're good. I like them.
And what about you, Dan?
I too went for a darker style beer. I went with Leinenkugel's Snowdrift Vanilla Porter. Another beer that makes you think of sitting on a couch and being fat for the winter. Not none of this fucking fitness berry shit.
Yep.
So before we get started, as always, I gotta make sure I take the time. We gotta thank Sixfo Sueno for letting us use his music in the intro. And then got Cancer in studio, so I thank him.
Get the fuck out of here.
He does the song in the mid-roll. We're using Kings of Cannibals right now. You can also go follow him on Instagram, Eyes Bleed Defiance, and you can see all his art and his photography, our logo that he has there.
Oh, yeah.
You can follow us at Bad Guy Podcast on both Instagram and TikTok, and then badguypodcast.com. If you can't find any of it, all the links are on the website. Well, we're going to get started, and the bad guy we're covering today is Michael Chen.
This ain't negotiation time. This is Scarface, final scene, fucking bazookas under each arm. Say hello to my little friend.
Michael Chen. He was in Fast and the Furious too, right?
We got Michael Chen, a.k.a. The Scientist.
Dope name.
It could be. That's a very vague name. It could be like because he is a smart, nerdy dude, or because he's very methodical when he fucks people up.
Yeah, I like that.
That could be anything.
Scientist.
It's clinical.
I like ambiguous names.
That's not the reason. I just thought of that when
Yeah, no,
we said to.
All right, you have my attention. Now, sir, you have my attention. I forgot how the phrase went. I forgot completely how it
That's
went.
awesome.
Michael Chen was born in the Canton province of China in 1950.
50?
1950, yeah. So, 1950 China is a chaotic time. It's constant conflict between the communists and the British government of Hong Kong. I didn't know this, but Hong Kong belonged to Britain from 1800 to 1930.
Okay.
And then the Japanese took it over from 1930 till after World War II, and then the British took it back. So
Wow.
Hong Kong was British, and then the rest of China, they would fought like the communist civil war, and they were like, all right, well, you got to be communist. And Britain was like, nah, man, Hong Kong's our shit. We run this. They wanted a capitalist stronghold right on the tip of China, because
Okay.
they had the number 1 trade port, and they're Britain. They colonize. That's what they do. They go fucking take people's
That's
shit and
kind of
live
their
there.
jam.
Yeah, it's kind of their jam, yeah.
It's kind of their thing. I mean, Americans really took it and ran with it, but Britain, they really knew their shit.
Oh, yeah.
What I like is that the British took it from China, and then the Japanese took it from them. And then when we won the war, we gave it back to Britain.
Which is a weird, like, to
We don't
think
give it back
that
to China. We give it
China
back
was
to Britain.
belonged to Japan for a while.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, it's really interesting.
And what's weird, to paradox it up, the English people had a big stronghold in Japan, too. So
Yeah.
there's a weird, they played hot potato with cities.
Man, yeah, that's insane.
Damn, China, once the Mongols broke that Great Wall, it was like never great again. That's like a fighter with that weak chin, like Chuck Liddell. As soon as he got knocked out once, it was all downhill from there.
Open the floodgates.
Taking Hong Kong, that's like taking New York. Like, you get all America,
Yeah.
but we get New York. Like, no, that's
Yeah,
a big chunk.
We can't do that.
Give it
Yeah,
back.
We can't do that.
So all this beef between the communists, the British government, it's chaos. At one point, Hong Kong went in a couple of years from 600,000 to 2.2 million people.
Damn.
And it was the most densely populated city in the fucking world.
At a certain point, it's like, stop going.
Well, they wanted to be capitalist or whatever, so they was flooding that Hong Kong. Like, I don't know. It was,
You can't play cities like people play phone booths where they try to see how many people they can cram in there. At a certain point, let's just stop it.
Yeah, or they'll do like what they used to do in some countries, be like limit the amount of kids you can have.
yeah.
Isn't
Like,
that what
what
the
if-
China does?
Yeah, that
now?
was
Yeah,
one
but
of
if you like-
China's big things.
Yeah, but if you don't give them anything to do, what are they gonna do? But sit at home and fuck.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
So I don't know too much about it, because I'd cover more of the gangland killings than the communist fucking versus British colonists.
Yeah.
But it was something like that. That's the dummy version of kind of
Hey, he's no historian.
right. The bottom line
Where
is,
did I hear that before?
it was fucking chaos, all right? Shit's crazy. There's political government corruption. Police are corrupt. Economic hardship. Everybody goes broke. These economic hardships lead to Chen's father immigrating to America before Chen was even born.
The place where police are never corrupt and we never have economic hardships.
Ever. Well, there was that one time.
Here's the crazy part about Michael Chen's story. So I do the research, right? His backstory is how he's born in China and because of communism and the British colonizers and da-da-da-da-da.
That's history in a nutshell.
Or,
Da 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 da.
or did Mr. Chen knock up that chick and run for America?
Ah.
Yeah.
Did she come with him?
No. So he got. So that's what I'm saying. So Mr. Chen left for fucking before he was even born. He left for America.
Oh, the mom did?
The dad.
Oh, okay. So his dad
So-
left him.
They had a daughter,
Okay, got
and
it.
then he knocked her up with Michael, and then he was like, "All right, I'm gonna go to America."
Oh, okay. You would think that I had the edible. I can't keep up.
Well, it's probably my
bad.
storytelling.
I'm getting no. It's not you. It's me.
You got lost in all the intricate details of
Yes,
the communist
I did.
takeover
I'm
and the
still thinking
political
about it.
atmosphere. I mean, we did deep dive into all that. So
and the whole
it's
Japan
easy.
China thing just kind of
So
threw me
to
off.
be clear, the dad came to America. Little Michael Chen still in China
in his
with
mama's
mom.
belly.
That story could be told in China or in downriver around here.
Yeah.
I had a couple kids. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm out,
yeah.
motherfucker.
Condoms? What are those?
I didn't pull out then, but I'm pulling out now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Michael came to America with his mother and his sister
They said, "Fuck you, we following you."
Yeah.
when he was the age of 13 years old.
Oh, it's 13 years later.
So they had to stay in China for 13 years.
Women sure can hold a grudge.
When they got to America, Chen's father was living in New York working as a taxi cab driver. When he moves to America, they moved to Chinatown in Manhattan.
So early 60s New
Yes,
York.
1963
Got
in
it.
New York. His dad works as a taxi cab driver. He gets a job as a delivery boy on a bike for a restaurant, and he attended high school in the Chinatown area.
Damn, he's just, I don't know if it's the American dream, but it's the Chinese immigrant stereotype he's living.
So he graduates in 1968. He briefly attends college, but like a whole bunch of other poor Chinese kids in the area, they're just all disenfranchised, flat fucking broke. You know, they're kind of living in this rough neighborhood, and they all gravitated towards gangs on Canal Street. So this is Canal Street in New York. It's like the main strip of Chinatown, but it's also like the most populated gang area of Chinatown. So it's like the heart of Chinatown for business, markets, merchants, gangs, you name
Got
it.
it.
It
I
all
mean,
starts on fucking Canal Street.
Gangs run off turf, and that's prime location right there.
That's funny how that works out too. So like if you were a big shot maybe in China and you come here and you pick a certain spot to make your home,
hmm
then you're the big time there too. If people remember like, yeah, he was big over there, he's big here as well.
Well, that happened a lot because there was a lot of the capitalists that would flee. So as the communists were taking over, a lot of the rich people were, you know, rich people. So they're
Yeah.
like, you know what? Pack up my shit and head to New York, set up shop, and
Makes
now,
sense.
now I'm running Canal Street.
Yeah.
So Michael Chen gravitates to the streets and gang life, and by the mid-1970s, he became a member of the Chinatown gang, the Flying Dragons.
Dope.
I mean, if you're
That's
going to be
dope.
in a Chinese gang, that's definitely the name to take.
Flying dragons. is
It's
dope.
really, every step of this is like in a kung fu movie. Does he get the shine?
It's almost like wonder where they get that shit from. The shine.
So-
like last.
Like Bruce Leroy.
Glow.
Yeah, the glow.
The Flying Dragons were a street affiliate of the Hip Sing Tong. Now, the Hip Sing Tong was a Chinese American crime organization that originated in San Francisco in the late 1800s and worked its way towards New York. So anywhere there was Chinatown, these tongs popped up. So each tong is kind of like the equivalent of a tribe or a clan,
Okay.
but they basically turn into like families, like a mafia family. But that's in the late 1800s, early 1900s. By now, in the 1970s, the Hip Sing Tong was called the Hip Sing Association, and it was a labor and community organization group.
Trying to legitimize.
Right. All the
is that
Tong,
like the mob in waste management?
yeah.
Air quotes.
Or they got tired of too many dumb Americans like me making tong comments.
That could
Yeah,
be it,
we're going to
too.
association. Fuck.
Yeah.
Nobody takes our war seriously.
We're goddamn gangsters.
What's wrong with Tong?
We just had a hatchet fight in the street, and they're making fun of the name Tong.
Yeah,
God damn it, we
exactly.
fucking can't win.
Fucking Americans.
But when they did this, so all the other Tongs did that. So they all had a street gang affiliate that would handle that end of the business.
They went legitimate, and then they just had those street gangs do all the little illegal shit on the side while they were just these old Chinamen in suits.
So they were the like the figureheads, like the faces of the association.
Yeah. Well, at this point, the Hip Sing Association would have a giant building on Canal Street. They had the Hip Sing Credit Union. You know what I mean? The old buildings and shit. They
Wow.
were like a community organization, but they were the Hip Sing Tong. But every street gang had to operate under the jurisdiction of a Tong.
Got it.
So the Flying Dragons' biggest rival was the Ghost Shadows.
Come on. What is
These
it?
fuck-
Ghost Shadows?
The Ghost Shadows.
That's dope.
That's kind of redundant.
Ghost Shadows.
Or what are they? Shadows of ghosts? Do ghosts have shadows? Are they?
That's the point of the
Oh,
name.
man.
It's a paradox conversation.
This is intriguing. You have my attention.
Now you have my attention.
color me intrigued.
But yeah, the Ghost Shadows are like their big organization they beef with. I automatically assume when I picture it in my mind, I just picture fucking Big Trouble in Little China and the fucking back alley gang fight.
Oh.
That's gotta be the Flying Dragons and the fucking Ghost Shadows.
I
right?
picture like every kung fu movie, like Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh
They're
yeah.
That's a
just
great
out
movie.
there.
That's a good movie.
It is much closer to Rumble in the Bronx.
But then I start thinking of Big Trouble in Little China, and then I start thinking, can they shoot lightning? And then I start thinking, this is ridiculous. Kurt Russell couldn't beat them up. But then I think I could, because he's Snake Plissken, so maybe he could. And I lost my train of thought.
I'm just thinking how hard it is to drive with an eye patch on.
Difficult,
Snake
for
Plissken,
sure.
I mean.
Yeah. I mean, boats are pretty easy. Pirates do that shit all the time.
Even to fight efficiently, no depth perception.
Yeah.
Everything is way harder with one eye than you think.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as simple as throw a patch on that bitch and you're fucking good to go. Like,
Oh yeah.
No, your
Yeah, you-
perception is definitely way through.
You go to sit down, bust your ass. Like, I can't imagine driving.
The only time it's helpful is when you're really, really drunk. So instead of seeing double, you only see one.
right?
That is true.
I read
math checks
that's why
out.
most one-eyed people are alcoholics because it straightens it out. I read that. I could write that right now and then like I could see it on Facebook within like.
Oh yeah. If I make a meme about it, it's true.
So Michael Chen's intelligence helped distinguish himself from the other members of the gang. He had a reputation for being polite and measured, which earned him the nickname the Scientist.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. Polite, like the gentleman or something? The scientist or...
I don't know why
I
those
mean-
names those names just always are like super dope to me. Like the most. It's not anything crazy. It's like the teacher,
See,
the scientist.
I
the,
think-
you know what I'm saying? Like the gentleman.
I
Like,
think
I'm like,
that-
man,
That
that's
is kind of dope.
I
Yeah.
think that's how history goes. Now it's like, because he was polite and nice or whatever. No, it's because he was a nerd, and they all called him a nerd, so they call him the scientist because he's a fucking dork.
It's like, Skull Crusher can only go so far.
They're
You know
out
what I mean?
there,
Like,
they're out there doing kung fu and fucking shooting lightning, and this guy's over there like, hey guys, how do you do?
Hey, beat it, nerd.
beat it, nerd.
In 1976, he was arrested in Queens for homicide, but was never convicted of the crime due to lack of witnesses.
What year was that?
1976.
All right, I
So
stand
he was-
corrected. That nerd wasn't fucking around.
So he was
26.
26. Huh.
I
No
mean-
witnesses?
No witnesses. We'll get some more into some no witnesses stuff, but that's pretty big in Chinatown.
Seems like it would be.
It's kind of how they run shit. It's the credit union.
Well, just
What,
in
you
all
gonna
of those-
fucking you gonna tell on the credit union's boys?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, not even just in Chinatown, pretty much probably any of those
Right.
ethnically clustered cities or areas.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm sure finding people to talk in Hell's Kitchen was real easy, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Like,
no,
lots of witnesses.
I honestly don't even want to get closer because I can't really be seen talking.
Right, yeah.
no, I
don't
don't-
even
yeah.
glance at me or I'm dead.
Well, especially, I mean, when you go to a lot of these countries, and expect this story to begin with started, they fled because of police corruption and shit. Like, these people just
Yeah, so
do
not
not trust the police. They have an
that's,
interest.
And that's that's bothered me too. Like, people just don't understand that. It's like they don't understand, like, people's previous experiences kind of dictate how they feel about those kind of things, about police, about government, about things like that.
It's built in. PTSD, a
Yeah.
lot of, like, the Tiny Rascal Gang, a lot of these gangs, you come from a gang-torn country, like,
Yeah.
it's fucking wild.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, the police are like, no, we're here to help you. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you are.
So, still in Chinatown, different story, but just to give us, like, an idea of what the witness situation was like, there's a situation that occurred that a guy shot two guys in the head on Canal Street in broad daylight.
That is a situation.
By the time the police showed up, all the markets were closed and nobody was in the street. So you seen what Canal Street looked like earlier? In the broad daylight, stores
Nothing.
were closed, streets were cleaned up,
The
everybody
entire city was closed
Say
down.
what you want. They are very efficient.
Yeah, that's smart.
They know how to shut it down.
So yeah, that just gives you an idea, like the weather
Yeah.
witness situation. Whenever you're like, oh, nobody's testifying. Like, well,
Someone's got to know something. Like, everybody knows something, but ain't nobody gonna tell you anything.
All them motherfuckers are ghost shadows.
so these different gangs, they're the other ones, the White Eagles too. So there's there's a bunch of them. There's
White
the,
Eagles.
Yeah, there's the White Eagles, the Ghost
Man.
Shadows, the Flying Dragons. They all represent a Tong gang, and the gangs are like hundreds deep. Like,
Wow.
and they're just shooting each other on the street. And in August 1976, Michael Chen comes up with this plan.
A scientific plan.
Mm-hmm.
He comes up with a plan to have a fake truce with the other rival gangs in an attempt to get money out of a federal grant for youth gang reform that had already gave some money to some Harlan gangs.
Jeez.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, we'll take your help and flip it on you.
So they go with this plan. They're like, all right, we do a fake treaty. And then,
See, that's like when you get in trouble and like you shake hands with the dude you just got in trouble fighting with in front of the principal so you don't get suspended.
Mm-hmm.
so they try it out, and they come up with this.
He's always hatching up schemes in the lab, you know?
Yeah.
So they come up with a treaty, and it helps because they're all over the papers all the time. Well, The problem was the lower level members just really hated each other, and they're all out there working their territories down on Canal Street every day, and they just can't stop fighting with each other.
They're the ones out there getting stabbed by people. Like, I can't let this go. He just chopped my pinky off last week.
I mean, that's kind of what it was. The bosses
Yeah.
are like, hey, we're going to have a treaty, and the street level guys are like,
Fuck that.
fuck that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
This is my piece of sidewalk. I'm going to crack your fucking goddamn head open and shit. The truce ended after less than a month when on September 10th, 1976, a shootout resulted in 5 gang members being shot and 3 being arrested.
But did they get to keep the money? I mean, the treaty
Yeah, what was
was
the
made.
Yeah, what's the grace period on the
Like, what are the
grant.
terms on this contract?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, when did they cut off?
Did the check clear?
Less than a month or over a month?
Less than a month, September 10th.
Oh, they didn't hit the warranty. They
Yeah.
didn't do it.
Didn't work
And
out,
it wasn't. It was too soon.
They didn't pay the first bill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
there
shit,
you
they
go.
signed the contract, didn't pay the first bill. and
You had to
shit.
put down your first month deposit. You know what I mean? You don't get that back.
A rifle and a handgun were found on the scene, and over 20 shots were fired. None of the victims would identify any shooters, and the local residents denied knowing any shooting occurred. No one ended up being convicted of the shooting. All 3 suspects arrested got released.
Did they take the bodies too?
No, well,
They
so-
leave the body, but take everything.
This
Yeah,
one-
they're in the hospital. Who shot you? I'm not even shot.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
Wait, no, but this
It's a flesh wound.
nothing.
in 1977, Michael Chen was indicted in the murder of 2 members of the Ghost Shadows in a shootout in the middle of the crowded Pagoda Theater.
Damn, in a theater?
Yeah, so the Pagoda Theater is like a big, I mean, it's a thing in Chinatown, you know. I would
It
say
is?
it's probably,
Was it a-
well, it would be like
a big,
I don't know, like
a-
a St. Andrew's Hall or something, like a,
Yeah.
Was it in a theater, movie theater, or like just a like where they
Like
had
a
shows
Fox
and
theater.
stuff?
Like a
Yeah.
theater.
well, I think it's like
I'm
a,
assuming.
I don't know, what's a theater? I thought it was like a fucking movie theater, but it could
No,
be,
I would think it's probably a grant, like just a theater, like a
Yeah.
Fox theater,
Yeah,
like
that's what I
a.
would think too.
Either way, though, it's like just like being enclosed, a closed area like that, and having a shootout is just that's crazy.
yeah.
That's like
Hell
that's
yeah,
that's a
that is
nightmare right
crazy.
there.
Yeah, it is.
How many people died? Well, 2 people died. Everyone's deaf.
Well, I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
if they started in San Francisco, they started in the Wild West and they did a little shootout in the Pagoda Corral. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Pagoda Corral.
For real, all them Wild West shootouts happened in like tight little quarters and shit. People, like,
Absolutely.
everything was smaller back then.
Mm-hmm.
After Michael Chen gets arrested for the shooting, he's charged with both murders. But then they couldn't get any witnesses to leave a testimony, and he ended up being released on all charges.
My God,
crazy.
man. That's,
Damn.
Yeah.
They need to get some of these people on the first 48. So they get them to talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
first 48 some of these
Or
fools?
DJ Vlad. They they
He's always getting people.
yeah, he's got people confessing. He's got people getting locked up for shit they
crazy,
say on his show.
No, that's it. He don't even try. It's like, so what up with guns? Yo, I got 1 million guns. Like,
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
read it
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
out. He just said,
It's just
"What
the
up
way
with
he says
guns?"
it too.
Like,
He's like, "So what's up with guns? What do you mean the ones I got in my car?
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
let's talk about those."
like, it's crazy the amount of people that, especially these little rappers and shit, that just rap themselves. They're on Instagram doing illegal shit. Like,
Yeah.
it reminded me of the Key and Peele sketch where he was a rapper and he's like in his songs like, and I killed him,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
shot him 3 times,
Yeah, yeah.
2 in the chest.
But yeah, they yeah, to have all those people not say anything is just it's. But I mean, imagine like
scary.
being a cop, like and being a cop out there, and be like, oh, okay. Like, do you, at what point do you just stop asking?
Right.
Be like, do you want help or not? No, okay,
No.
all right.
They probably
Let
had
me
some
guess.
of them,
He's like, let me
working
guess.
for him, too.
Nothing happened.
See, somewhere there's a very upset New York police officer, like a Dennis Franz, like, I tell you, I'm tired of the beat. I go down there and I ask them, who's doing the killing? I get nothing. If they don't want me to save them, why am I even trying? I'm telling you, I got 2 weeks till retirement and I can't wait.
Sitting on the edge of his bed in a white wife beater with fucking black socks, drinking some cheap ass beer.
Apologizing for smacking his wife. I'm sorry, Darla. It's this fucking city. It's burning a hole in me. Can't you see it?
My ulcers got ulcers.
I'm out here trying to clean up the streets, and they're throwing the trash at my feet here. And
They
I
don't want it clean.
And I come home and dinner's cold. God damn it.
Hey,
It's rough in the 70s, man.
later the same year, Michael Chen got arrested for carrying a 12-gauge shotgun. When he was searched, they found him with 150 rounds of ammunition.
Now, did they need witnesses to say he was carrying it?
But the cops wouldn't talk.
The cops weren't gonna say nothing.
They asked the other cops if they could corroborate a story, and they said, I didn't see nothing.
You know, in Chinatown, they got a phrase: "Loose lips sink communities."
And associations.
Yeah, and associations. And dragons, somehow it sinks them. We don't know how.
The sinking dragons.
Sinking dragons.
He ended up getting off the charge on the gun charge on a technicality, on something that they messed up, like a paperwork issue or something. It ended up getting thrown out of court on a technicality and shit.
Of course. So it doesn't even matter if you don't have witnesses.
So he's got
Can't fill out paperwork either, so.
It turns out witnesses were testifying this whole time. Just they kept on
all these
the
people that were like, I was going to murder somebody, but I was afraid I wasn't going to get away with it. But this dude, obviously, I guess I can.
I'm trying to clean up these streets. And Jack keeps on forgetting to hit the record button.
My pen was out of ink that day.
I gotta fill out this form and that form. Damn it, Darla, when's it gonna end?
I don't have time to fill out forms. I'm a cop.
I'm here trying to hit the streets, not keyboards.
By the end of 1977, Michael Chen was made the Dragon Head, which was what the term for the leader of the Flying
I mean, if you're gonna be a piece of the dragon,
So does that mean the Ghost Shadow Head is the Ghost Head? That's fucking dope too. God, I'm so jealous of these names.
now, would it be an honor or an insult to be the dragon dick? Because I can see that going both ways. If you met a guy and his nickname was the Dragon Dick, you'd be like,
Is it because it's so big when he walks it drags? Or do dragons have notoriously small penises?
Like, no, I'm the Dragon Head. I'm the boss. Like, well, you're the treasurer. You're the Dragon Dick. Come on, man. You gotta be the heart or something.
You're the organization's detective. You're the Dragon Dick.
Yep, you're the dick, motherfucker.
Huh?
That's just the guy he didn't like. No, you're the dick.
Damn it, how am I gonna save him? Every time I go in there, they keep calling me the Dragon Dick.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to save this city and they're calling me a Dragon Dick?
All right, we're going to take a quick smoke break. We're going to refill our drinks, and we'll be back in a minute.
Shackles to break out of. They cower solo but mob them and they crowd us. Spilling in the street with heat like hot lava. Pop bottles, molotovs tossed and rocks follow. Ominous disciples like vipers, they strike quickly. Come at me like an army, I'm tearing you down with me. Spit like a baron, rulers of bread like Kaiser. Roll with the goal and get beaten like outsiders. These amateur animals swing in the wrong jungle. Climbing the wrong vines mean these lions will snuff you. Concrete wilderness building our own structures. Writing our own order, appointing our own judges. Overthrowing authority, morally lack conscience. Fighting for survival with rivals with throat punches. Monitor the area carrying curved swords. Slither in the brush till we crush them with brute force. Men storming the harbor with armored attack armaments. Calling all guards to swarm them and skin their faces for ornaments. Order more troops to corner them, Agent Orange and mortar them. Kill them all, just destroy them and let your guy get to sorting them. Code of honor corroded as soon as it was awarded. Celebrations were thwarted before they could be supported. Rolling thunder bombarded them, flaming dart put a part in them. Separate and disarm them and send the bulls to the parliament. Operation Niagara, Viet Cong on the battle with landmines and grenades and flamethrowers to scare Almost time to run, put on your army helmets now. You're running toward the sun with all your guns, defenses down. Flashes everywhere, the lights create an atmosphere. Water in your lungs, you pray for death, but life is here. You're about to die, face it, you're about to die. Zero sand in your glass, fuck it, you can't even cry. Put a dagger to your neck, just to keep yourself in check. Put a dagger to your neck, just to keep yourself in check. Everybody grab a side as you fight to stay alive. Dancing on a hand grenade so you can die and they survive. Silver bullets in the sky, dropping 7-second death. Scattering the children, run, rub until there's nothing left. Ashes in the water, sons and daughters hold their flags up high. Wallow in the harbor as the military tanks arrive. Penetrate the border with disorder like an animal. Every war has the honor of turning kings into cannibals. Cannibal kids wanna be king. 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 Cannibal kids wanna be king.
All right, we're back. So we reloaded on drinks a little bit. Cancer, you got one of those KBS Mackinac Fudges. What do you think?
Oh, I like it. I like their stuff.
I think out of the dark beer side, Founders does it right.
They do. Like what I like about them is they have a lot of variety. Like they'll do the seasonals, and they do a lot of bourbon barrel aged stuff that I like.
Yeah, I like a beer that gets soaked in the bourbon. I just tried it's Kentucky something, but it's a bourbon beer, and that's the only one that I've had, but I fucking love it.
Yeah, they do. They
That
do
shit's
quite a few
real
of those.
good.
They just came out with a peppermint one. I want to try.
Tyler, so you went back to your comfort zone, some Labatt.
Oh, the Labatt boys, the Canadian Pilsner.
Well,
I mean, that was a berry explosion he wasn't ready for, so now he's going back to the Great White North.
Well, that 8%, man.
right?
That's no joke.
No,
Well-
those things will rock you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in Detroit, so Detroit is a little more in tune to Canadian culture. than
You're
your
right across the
average
river there.
Fuck
eh?
yeah.
Never bloat
Yeah,
and
for
shit.
sure.
So
You
Hey.
come right across the bridge. You can come over here and drink when you're 19, eh? You don't have to wait for your crazy 21. No, come over here. You can get drunk.
We want your kids' money, but we don't want them here.
it was awesome when I was growing up. It wasn't as cool when my son turned 19.
See, what sucked is I hung out with people that were older than me. So when they were 19, they would take off to Canada, and I'd be left all by my lonesome. And then when I turned 19, I joined the army, so I never got to experience the 19.
You didn't get to get thrown out of Don Cherry's.
The same,
I never even went to Canada.
Yeah.
I was getting into bars like here, like
Oh, way to brag.
like.
yeah.
I've never been to Canada ever.
Yeah,
I've
by
never been.
I went to the army when I was 19, came back when I was like 20 or whatever, and yeah, I could just get into all the bars. Like, why am I gonna?
Like, I could just get in there when I
Whoa,
was like
whoa,
17.
whoa,
Might have
whoa!
to bleep-
Let's
might have to
learn some
bleep that
little
shit out.
China shit. Let's Chinatown, buddy. No names.
You're going to have to bleep that out. Now, Locke
Fucking-
has to find a bleep sound effect somewhere.
Loose lips sinking establishment.
I gotta edit all this bullshit all the time, anyways. And shit.
All right, Tekashi 69.
Locked
a
in
good
it.
podcast.
Locked in it. Turn into Vlad. All right, we don't need you. to-
21 Savage is not a U.S. citizen.
God damn it! I finally got one, Darla. He's talking. We got him on the
The
hook.
memes after 21 Savage was from Britain was hilarious.
All right. So when we left off, Michael Chen took over as the Dragon Head. of
Oh,
the Flying
fuck my
Dragons
beer
Championship. Oh, my bad. You
No,
got
I'm
the same
drinking
beer,
the
right?
same shit.
So anyway, so we left off.
Scientist is the dragon head.
Yeah. And he was different than typical gangsters that we know. So he didn't drink, he didn't smoke, he didn't gamble. He was known to be kind and affectionate with his family, and he was generous in the community.
Wow.
So he was just a dude.
Yeah. That would shoot you in a theater. But
Yeah.
besides that, it's just...
He was different than the rest of the gangsters. He wasn't a dick.
And that's scarier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is after he had already murdered how many people?
3.
Yeah. I mean, he's
At
killed
least
three.
3.
But he wasn't drunk when he did it.
Yeah, he wasn't drunk. He doesn't gamble. He was a nice guy. He has no vices, and he's a nice guy. I guess his vice was murder.
I think...
Well, I think even then, because he's probably just a sociopath, is all it is. And, like, murder's just a part of the business.
But
It's
if he was a
part of the life.
sociopath, then he wouldn't have a good family life.
All it says is that he's kind of affectionate and polite. That could be just he's cool.
So this is what I think.
Or I'm completely talking shit and we don't know. No, we're going to deep dive into no facts, just feelings.
Right. Well, I'm definitely
What do we
speculating, so we'll call this the speculating moment. So I don't know this for sure, but just me, I read.
Lock speculation.
I read a lot of this motherfucker's goddamn story, so I feel like
Right.
I have some kind of an idea. He was known to be pretty calm and reasonable. They thought he was smart. They called him the scientist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then 6 months later, he's fucking shoots a dude. Well, he is still a gangster. Gangsters make their bones.
It's
right?
all part
I mean,
of that
you gotta-
life, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, you kill people. So if you might be calm or smart or a good dude or whatever, but I mean, that is how you put food on the table. And if you're at the Pagoda Theater and the Ghost Dragons are like, "What's up?" You gotta fucking,
you just gotta do
you
it.
gotta be like, "What's up?"
Gotta handle
Flying
business.
Dragons, mother. I mean, you've seen
Was that
Big
like
Trouble in
on
Little
their-
China, right?
Was that like their territory, the the Pagoda Theater?
I
mean, it is now.
Yeah, now it is for sure.
Yeah.
I actually think it's the opposite. I think they were on Canal Street and they were over on the Pagoda Theater, which would have been Ghost Dragons territory.
Oh, got
So
it.
I don't know that for sure. That's like I said, this is the speculation moment and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I think the Pagoda Theater was their territory.
Ah.
Wait, the Ghost Dragons? I thought.
Or the
Ghost Shadows.
the Ghost Shadows.
Yeah. I was going to say, now we're getting it all confused. We're just throwing. What kind of dragons are they? Oh, they're the flying dragons.
Yeah,
All right.
The Death Donkeys? Was that which one was that?
Brawl fight.
Flying dragons, no borders.
I can't think of a good name for a game. How about just bad dudes?
Yeah, bad
bad dudes. That'll work.
So the one big weakness he had a weakness for women. He was a woman chaser and shit.
Oh, shit.
He also had 3 sports cars.
All right.
So he dug cars, but besides that, he believed in keeping a low profile. Besides driving 3 sports cars through New York.
Yeah. In Chinatown. Driving
On
through
Canal
sports cars
Street,
through
there's
Chinatown.
10,000 people per city block. I'm sure. As leader of the Flying Dragons, his calm demeanor and patience in business dealings helped him grow all their profits. He's good at it. He's a good gangster. You know what I mean? He's a smart dude.
Profitable.
Yeah. But the problem is
He
got
knows
the
how to
Ghost
fill out the
Shadows,
forms.
he's got the fucking White Eagles, you know what I mean? He's got these other gangs, other tongs, and they just won't go away. And Chinatown's so small. So the territory's so small, and you're just fighting all the time.
Got it.
So he takes under his wing a protege named Johnny Ang, a.k.a. Machine Gun Johnny.
Another machine gun, huh?
So he wants, wonder what he's good at.
Got a good ring to it. You know what I mean?
Well,
It sounds dope, actually.
Yeah. I love it.
it's a.k.a. Machine Gun Johnny, a.k.a. Onion Head.
Okay, I would definitely stick to Machine Gun Johnny.
Oh, man.
All
looks-
right,
he
you
looks
got
mean,
2
too.
options. We got Machine Gun Johnny or Onion Head. Now, I mean, we're at a draw. We don't know which one to go with here.
It might mean something different.
Well, and many made you cry. Many was mean. So
He looks mean.
Yeah, so it seems like
He does. Look at his face. Like he looks
So
like he doesn't fuck around.
He makes me cry. Like he doesn't even have to
He
punch
looked like a mean
anybody.
guy. He looks like a fucking bully.
He's just like really good at roasting people. He doesn't even shoot. He's like, where's the machine gun? He's like, well, he can either roast you or shoot you.
His eyes.
Either
look
way, you're
like
gonna
he just
cry.
cut an onion, like.
So
It's like the bassist of like a 70s band.
it seems like most of the rivals called him Machine Gun Johnny. Most of his boys called him Onion Head.
Oh, okay.
That's how boys are, right?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because if you're not his friend and you call him that, that's when you meet Machine Gun Johnny.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if you walk in here and call me Onion Head, like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
some fucking ghost shadow calls me
Yeah.
goddamn Onion Head.
That's machine gun talk
Yeah.
right there.
I don't care if we're in the middle of the Pagoda Theater. It's
Machine
go time.
guns coming out.
No, he looks like he'll kick you right in the side of your head. Seriously. He looks like he's seen some shit. He looks scary.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
So Johnny Yang was 8 years younger and had a reputation for being flashy and violent. So
So he had 4 sports cars. Got it.
he'd been arrested 5 times on violent crimes and had been suspected in numerous murders in which the police were never able to make stick. Which honestly to me sounds like
God damn it, Dollar, they just won't talk. I'm telling you, this guy shooting, that guy shooting, machine gun, revolver, pistol. They're all shooting, and nobody sees a thing. And when they do, we fill out the wrong forms. God damn it. I can't keep doing this, darling.
Not enough in the budget for pens that work.
One more week and I'm on retirement.
Too many cuts.
God damn it. This city's eating me alive.
So between both their styles, between the two of them, Michael Chen and Machine Gun Johnny were able to turn the Flying Dragons into the largest street gang in Chinatown.
All right.
So you talk about a little odd couple situation. They got the nerdy, calculated, never fucking get out of line guy, and then the crazy, violent, flashy dude. A little do I smell a sitcom?
Chen mentored Ng on the other side of criminal activities. So they have been at war for years with the Ghost Shadows. And they're just fucking shooting out on the streets and shit and just making witnesses say they didn't say shit. And at some point, Michael Chen was like, hey, we could just stop shooting people. You know what I mean? And he believed in conducting yourself like a businessman. And he like understood the violence compromise over violence in negotiations. So he's like, look, we just can't keep fighting. You got to compromise. You can all make money.
In the bigger picture.
Yeah. Machine Gun Johnny's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Like, you still get to use your machine gun,
Right.
but we're going to pick and choose the times that you're going to use it and what you're going to use it for.
So I no hit him? Like, no, we're going to talk to him first, but I want to hit him. No.
It's like this season. It's like the season of Fargo. The two brothers. The one brother is violent. And he's trying to take over everything, and then he finally realizes he's like, "Hey, you've got the plan. I've got the muscle. I get it now,
Dude,
I get it."
that older brother, the whole time I watch it, all I think is, this is like a serious Jack Black and Nacho Libre.
It's funny too because he's an Italian actor. Like, he's legitimately an actor in Italy, and he can't like it's. But it's just funny. Like, I can see that being the case. Be like, you know what? It's at a time like I'm not telling you not to be violent. I'm just telling you that it needs to be placed in a different way.
I think
More beneficial.
other thing Chen teaches Aang, he teaches him the value of income from legitimate business and respectful community interactions.
So he taught him how to count.
Was like, look, we need real money too. We can't just steal shit all day. Like, we need businesses, and we're taking money from these people all day. We can't be dicks on top of it. We just be cool. Then we could be like Hip Sing. We could be an association. Like, we're not here to fucking strong arm you. We're here to help you with your business ventures in this area.
Yeah, we're just gonna take a little chunk out of it.
I just found out, Machine Gun Johnny, that's the dragon dick. All right.
He would
is kind of a
say
dick.
the dragon muscle. But yeah.
Whoa, what's the dragon muscle?
Yeah, exactly.
Dragon dick.
Exactly.
All right.
If anybody's the dragon dick, it's Onion Head. They call him fucking Onion Head. He's a dick.
Oh man.
So Michael Chen opened nightclubs in Queens. He opened a meat market and a paper supply company in Manhattan. So
Well, that's pretty diverse. He's like getting into a lot of fields.
he clearly diversified. He tried to settle down as a gangster. He tried to move into, let's do more legitimate business and stuff like that. He had always kept his edge. So in 1983, Michael Chen got word there's a guy named Chi-Hu Lao who was working to get several members of the Flying Dragons to leave the gang to come work with him.
Trying to start his own offshoot.
Kind of. It's kind of unclear. It seems
Okay.
like he was more of a businessman than a gangster. So I don't know exactly what he wanted with these guys. It won't matter for long.
Nah.
So Michael Chen goes to these guys that are in question. Like, hey, what the fuck? I heard that you're trying to leave the gang and go work with this guy. Well, they were like, for sure, no, we want to be Flying Dragons. And Michael Chen was like, well, I don't believe you. So in order to prove your loyalty, you got to go kill that dude.
Oh wow.
So
Makes sense though.
All of you together. All of you take
hold
turns.
hands.
You kill him at once together. All of you hold the knife at the same time and stab him.
God.
On March 5th, 1983, Chi-Ho Lao was murdered at the Riviera Diner. After a brief scuffle, he tried to run away and was shot 3 times in the back.
That'll happen.
That will happen.
That will
Sometimes.
happen.
That's the shit those bumper stickers are always talking about.
Yeah, and diners are not a safe place.
Yeah.
At
Those
all.
are many.
If the cholesterol won't kill you, the Flying
the
Dragons
bullets
will.
will.
And don't even get me started on the meatloaf.
Michael Chen eventually ends up growing their gambling and extortion rackets to a level beyond other street gangs, rivaling other organized crime syndicates.
They're
So-
like a highway gang. No more,
More
like
organized?
Street gang.
Yeah, kind of. Graduated to big time. So now they're
That Wing Sun
Yeah, now they're their own tong. They went from being a street name to a tong.
Around what year is this?
1983.
93?
1983.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, real quick,
So he's
going
like
back
30.
to that,
So
the
he's 30,
whole
yeah.
tong thing. We started by saying like the street gangs worked under a family.
Mhm.
So did he work under a family this whole time, or
Yeah.
how did that work?
Yeah, so he, as leader of the Flying Dragons, he works under the Hip Sing Tong. So
Okay.
The leader of the Hip Sing Tong at that time was a guy named Uncle Benny.
So that's who he answered to.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
but
he was
they
in charge
seem to
of
be
their
very.
thing.
They were pretty much hands off. They're just sort of like, he's a scientist, he's got it. And they just sort of let him run his shit.
Well, I feel like it's a thing where, I mean, you're going to micromanage your organization. He's doing pretty well. Kicking up is the way all these crimes, and it's consistent across the board.
Yeah.
So whether we're talking about the mob or the triads, they've gotten to a point where the Hip Sing Tong, they're like the Gambinos, and the Onling Tong is like the fucking Genovese. You know what I mean? They're all their own little families, and they got their street gang because now they're an association. We own a credit union. We got to operate legally. We're a community organization. We run the politics. We run the labor union. You know what I mean? We run Chinatown. We're helping our community, but we're still the Hip Sing Tong because we've been here for a fucking 100 years. So the Flying Dragons are guys on the street. So in order to do that, you had to kick up to somebody.
Right.
Yeah, but it
So-
sounds like now he's reaching the point where he's so legitimate that they're elevating from that street gang level that now they're at that tong level.
Right.
And that is what he started to do. But then a piece of everything he makes has to go up the chain too.
Now he's in his own middle, like he's middle management. It used to be like tongs are the legit guys, but he elevated but he's not a tong himself. He still has to kick it up. So he's middle management kind of at this point.
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to sum it up. So prior to him, the leader of the Flying Dragons would have been like your foreman.
Okay, yeah.
But now he's more like a salaried employee.
Got
You
it.
know what I mean? He's working way up the chain. But I'm assuming as he's making more money, that's more that he kicks up.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
They're not going to be like, hey, stop killing as many people and make them wait a bunch of money.
Yeah.
During this whole broadcast, there's people listening to this like, these drunk motherfuckers. Yes, he made money. How are these assholes confused?
So yeah, he made him money.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, what
Well,
happened.
no, I just completely forgot. Like, at this whole time, I thought he was just running shit. Like, I forgot that he was even paying.
Kicking up to somebody, yeah.
So did I.
All right. He's turning into a major organization. Now they're making money hand over fist. So,
Okay.
he owns businesses. They're like rich guys.
Okay.
Like they're the big shots now. They're not street gangsters. And Johnny Yang says, I got Asian connections to the best heroin in the world.
There we go.
That is a big ass
Getting into
boast right
drugs
there.
and shit.
hmm That's when it gets.
Well, I mean, that is China.
Killings, a bunch of
China is
money.
like opiate
that's
capital. That's where the opium is grown and
Yeah.
shit. Like, China's that main shit.
I thought it was like
Well,
Afghanistan.
Well,
Afghanistan has
too.
it too.
I think
for
maybe
sure.
I'm saying
I didn't even
China,
know.
but I think it's that whole the Oriental area, that Southeast Asia. All the little countries that us as America we forget about, like Laos, like Vietnam, we know because
yeah.
we beef with them. But all those small Asian countries, I think right in there, that's where all the heroin is.
But yeah, Afghanistan's a big one too.
Yeah.
Afghanistan's got a shit ton of heroin. So Johnny Yang's like, fuck yeah, you got a ton of money. I got a connection. And he's like, this shit is the best shit in the world. Dude, I got the connect. And
Which means you can step on it 1,000 times and it'll still be better than any of the shit that anyone else
1,000
has.
times. And he says he can get it over, which is a big expense too. So
Yeah.
he's like, look, I got a connection, I can get it here. You got a bunch of money, and we got a gang.
All the
Fucking
pieces are
Machine
in
Gun
place.
Johnny and shit. Let's do this shit. You know what I mean? Michael Chen refused. He said drugs were too risky a business, and he just thought he should stick to traditional rackets.
Oh, see, he's like the old school
Paul
mob
Sorvino
guy.
and Goodfellas.
Aang is gonna bust a fucking Goodfellas. Yep, he's gonna bust a Luciano
That is
Mierlansky
usually when
and start
shit
his
starts
own
going
shit.
bad though. Like once you start getting into like
Drugs?
yeah.
Yeah, it never
Oh,
goes
sure.
good.
I mean, you could say that, but like the Mierlansky,
money.
Luciano, they started the heroin thing, and that's what separated them from the old school Italian mob,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they
Yeah.
revolutionized the game, all from heroin.
Across the board, older guys thought drugs. The younger guys were like, this is our prohibition. You guys got rich
Yeah.
on prohibition. Drugs is our prohibition. The older guys were like, Yeah, but the time is different. Because
Yeah, it's-
judges and cops are drinking. You know what
Right,
I mean?
yeah.
So you get busted, you do your couple
Exactly.
of years, you get your slap on the wrist or whatever. You're selling heroin.
That's a completely different ballgame.
That's a fucking
yeah.
big deal.
So
they
you're
didn't-
saying we got to get the cops to do heroin?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Darla.
It's too bad they're all hooked on coke.
Darla is like, you know.
God
can't
damn
have
it, Darla! How am I gonna take him down when I'm hooked on this shit?
Where the fuck is my spoon?
I'm trying to chase down these Asian gangs. I got the monkey on my back, Darla.
I'm chasing the dragon on the street and in the room.
The flying dragon. I'm chasing the dragon in my veins. Can't you see the city staring me apart?
We've really taken a little journey with this guy, man.
Yeah. I've seen his whole character arc from the beginning.
I'm down to 3 days to retirement, Darla. 3 days.
Too old for this shit?
God damn, I hope I make it.
Which means he won't.
Hey, spoiler, dude. You don't know how this.
You don't know how this story ends.
Michael Chen starts telling his friends and family he's considering disassociating from the gang to focus on legitimate businesses. He's like, you know what? I'm making so much money from my businesses. Johnny Yang's kind of crazy.
It's like Austin Powers, and they're like, you should ask for more money. We're actually making more money off of our miniature business than we are from crime, so
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
What if I just go fucking
Yeah, just go legit.
sell paper and meat and fucking M&A clubs and shit, you know? I got a fucking meat market in fucking Manhattan. What am I selling?
It's like the guy who invented My Pillow like started out as a gangster. he's like, why do I keep doing crime when my pillows are fucking making me millions?
In the meantime, we're gonna send a 20-year-old out to stab some kid over fucking $20 from some merchant on
Yeah.
Canal Street.
Somehow that doesn't make sense anymore for me.
I tell you, the other day I was at a theater. This guy was yelling at the movie screen. I didn't even want to kill him. My heart's just not in it.
There's not in it no more.
March 13th, 1983, Michael got a call in the middle of the night and got up and left his apartment. He's found the next day in the Hip Sing Credit Union office, shot 15 times, 5 of which were in the head, 4 of which were through his eyes.
God damn.
Those were related. Like whoever called him somewhere to the credit union, or that was just.
Hey, come over here to the bank. We're going to shoot you a bunch of times.
Well, most people assume it had to be somebody you know because he got up and left.
Yeah, he was set up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's because he was trying to quit, or they don't know.
Well,
Nobody said nothing.
nobody was suspected or arrested in the murder of Michael Chen. But after his death, Johnny Yang took over control of the Flying Dragons. It really seems
Okay.
like because Johnny Yang
Wanted
was
to take over.
he wanted the gang and he wanted to
Yeah.
sell drugs and he said let's sell drugs and he didn't want to sell drugs. But I think
Well, see, this is how stupid gangs are. The dude just wanted out and to go legit anyways. This guy wanted to stay being a criminal and sell drugs. You could have just fucking done that both. This could have been a win-win.
the big factor, I think, and having done a lot of this podcast, done a lot of research, right? I think the fact that it happened in the Hip Sing building feels like at some point it had to come from up top.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
You know, so like that's not an accident. You can't just kill Michael Chen and take over the gang.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the
Like,
Hip Sing building, and that's what's up. Like at some point, maybe.
oh yeah, he tripped and fell and got shot in the face 4 times. Be like, so I guess you're boss now.
Right.
Someone
Yeah,
lined up a
it's-
lot of bullets on the ground and tripped this guy right into him.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I'm not saying he's doing a bad job, but I'm saying I got this heroin thing, and you still could do your own thing,
It's
but
too
I
much
can bring you
money.
more money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I mean?
also, I mean, like, it was clearly sending a message because you only need 1 bullet. And those guys, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They know how to kill somebody with 1 bullet.
Well,
So-
he told all of them they all had to kill him. Just like so they all had to shoot. They all had to.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Who knows?
honestly, maybe.
Whatever the fuck it was something. It wasn't
Yeah.
like just a coincidence. That's
No.
not a crime of passion. That's
No,
a
it's-
message.
Yeah, it's for
Yeah,
a for sure message.
Because that's not even
Both
a
of his
shot in the
eyes.
eyes, or not even both eyes. Both eyes, 4
Yeah.
through the eyes. Like for sure through the eyes. For
Yeah,
sure.
that's
fucking-
that's
That's
something.
crazy.
You've seen too much,
yeah.
so now you die.
So once Machine Gun Johnny Ang took over the Flying Dragons with already built-in infrastructure, and he put in place his heroin plan, which brought the heroin China white.
So we can thank Johnny Yang for 7 rap songs and 1 rapper.
So the Flying Dragons were a street gang, and Michael Chen turned them into a legit powerhouse. And Johnny Yang took it over and then turned it into $1 million organization. He's working with the mob. He's like doing international.
It's quite the evolution of a gang.
Yeah. You know, they always say the early bird gets the worm.
Mm-hmm.
This is saying the second mouse gets the cheese. When you look at like in Chicago when they took over Big Jim shit, there's something to these guys. They build up this big gang.
Yeah.
And then they're like, it's big enough. And then whoever came up behind them inherits this thing that's already built.
That makes it bigger.
Yeah. All right. So that's the story of Michael Chen. Now, you guys haven't seen a picture yet. Before I show you guys a picture, if we were going to cast a movie about the scientist Michael Chen, who would you cast to play him?
I mean, the take I get on him is he's kind of just happy, polite. Like, if there was an Asian Joseph Gordon-Levitt, that's who should play him.
That's not bad, because that's actually, you know. Well, let me ask you this. Would he be from the same region that Machine Gun Johnny is from?
Yeah, they were both Chinese. They're both Cantonese.
Okay. I would say... What's his name? Steven Yeun?
From Walking Dead?
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, but even he would probably be like, man, you're fucking racist. We're from completely different areas.
I believe he's Korean.
He doesn't even look anything like me.
Fucking LDP been playing a fucking Mexican for fucking 3 decades.
Well, yeah, not only that,
Filipino
it's not coming from a place of racism. It's coming from a place of things that people that look similar.
Yeah. And I think
we've seen actors that we've mentioned actors who were not Italian.
Yeah.
That would be perfect playing an Italian. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing like that.
I think most
Nicole
Asian...
Kidman hasn't played an Australian in her entire fucking career.
Well, I think most Asians are comfortable
BMX
with
bandits.
other Asians playing them, even if it's different. It's not like it's a white dude playing.
Yeah, if you're trying to be offensive, then you're offensive.
Dude, John Wayne playing fucking Genghis Khan.
Oh my god, that's the absolute worst, man. It's almost as bad as Charlton Heston playing a Mexican.
Yeah, that's bad.
The worst one is Mickey Rooney as an Asian in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Well, have you seen fucking
That's bad.
Remo Williams?
Oh yeah.
It's Joel
the guy
Grey
from Joel Grey from Cabaret. Yeah, he played the Asian in that one.
The Asian dude in that.
Yeah, because there were no Asians that could play that part.
None.
Yeah, none available.
So here's a picture.
But that's my guess.
So here's a picture of the scientist Michael Chen.
Oh shit! Fucking he's the best. He actually played
He is the best.
No, he is the best. He's from Big Trouble in Little China. Looks exactly like him.
Oh, was he Wang?
Are you talking about the dude from 16 Candles?
No, No, the main guy in Big Trouble in Little China.
Hold on.
Wasn't he the dude's partner?
Hold on.
No, he's I pissed at
Fucking,
myself. He's Uncle Poe in the Sleeping Dogs game too.
So the actor that I thought, and I know what they look like from the beginning. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing the research, so the pictures always pop up. I thought Ernie Reyes, who is
Reyes Jr.?
Yeah, Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah.
Word. That's a good call.
Yep. But yeah, that James Hong is the one that I was thinking of. I think he looks like.
Ernie Reyes probably would be a better Machine Gun Johnny, though.
Yeah.
Especially him during, like, Surf Ninjas era. Ernie Reyes Jr. Like, that's... I see him fighting half android Leslie Nielsen.
I wanted to be that dude when I was a kid. I was like, man, he's on a TV show with Buck Rogers. That fucking kid's life is great.
Have you ever seen The Rundown with The Rock?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Ernie Reyes is the one he fights in the woods and shit.
Yeah, I think he's a
from
choreographer too, like on that, like a fight.
Yeah, he's a fight choreographer in a lot of shit. He was the fight choreographer for like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
He was the pizza delivery guy.
Yeah.
In Ninja Turtles.
And I think in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2 or whatever, he played one of the turtles. He has a weird career where he's like real big behind the scenes.
I think he was he in The Last Dragon?
I think yes. He
Yeah.
was the littlest kid on The Last Dragon.
Yeah, that's where I was like, yeah,
you know who
that
Ernie
dude's
Reyes
dope.
is? Have you ever seen Sidekicks with Chuck Norris?
What's that? It's
you know
Ernie
if you've
Reyes
seen
Jr.
Ernie Reyes Jr.
He keeps on dropping off the junior.
Yeah, fuck a junior. It's a suffix. It's not really part of your name and shit.
It's still
If he had glasses, he'd look like the dude in Kickboxer who
Go lay down.
like makes sure they don't get in trouble with like Van Damme and the big dude who rides a motorcycle.
In Kickboxer?
Yeah.
See, we only see his face, but if he's big and muscular, then he's the bad guy in Bloodsport that tells him that bags don't hit back.
He looks like a chick who had kids before, but now she doesn't like dudes. And like got a haircut, you know what I'm saying?
Save the best for last, huh, Tyler?
I see it.
Yeah, that's dead on.
Yeah.
Word. These guys were real hard to find pictures. So I usually get, I do 10 slides because the slides are what go to the Instagram. And on Instagram, you only get 10 pictures.
No.
So I cut it off at 10. I could not come up with 10 slides.
Really?
Like I could only come up with
Damn.
6. And I was trying,
really
and I
out
threw
there.
in a picture of fucking Canal Street. Just, you know what I mean? Normally I have all kinds of pictures to
See,
pop in.
they're so tight-lipped.
Yeah,
Even the
that's-
cameras don't talk shit.
Real legit. Like,
It was.
seriously.
Like, I had very little pictures and shit.
There's like no record of it whatsoever.
Like the hip sing tong, I had 3 pictures. That's over 122 years.
Wow.
And shit. I had like 3 pictures of hip sing tong guys. You know
That's
what I mean?
crazy,
There's just not a
man.
lot of pictures and shit.
And see, this little bit of information, he was originally going to do it about the ghost shadows, but man, there's even less about them. There's not a single picture.
Wow.
Since now we're discussing how rare it was, this picture I fucking screenshotted from a YouTube clip.
Wow. Yeah.
So now we got to do the Defcon scale. So standard Defcon scale is 5 to 1, 5 being the lowest, 1 being the highest. But on the Bad Guy podcast, nobody's a good guy. So 5 would be Lee Murray, which is the lowest, who's your coke dealing, kidnapping, bank robber. And 1 would be the Purple Gang, who's got multiple gang wars, multiple massacres, and they're killing people on the streets. So on a scale of Lee Murray to the Purple Gang, where would you rate Michael Chen?
Probably 3. They're still they're still slaughtering people, but
See,
they're more methodical.
yeah.
They're smarter.
I mean, I've been on here, so I've done my skills. 3 is middle ground. That's your normal mobster who's got some bodies behind him and shit, but it's kind of normal shit. And he is kind of up there, but I would drop him down to a 4 because he wasn't the average gangster because he actively tried to make them less violent, I think. But yeah, 5 means no bodies at all, but he was chopping people up, and the fact that he ran shit, even though he went legit, he definitely got some blood on his hands, some bodies and shit, so he can't be a 5, but he's right between a 4 and a 3 for me. Like, if it goes 3, I'm not mad at it, but it seemed like he purposely was a little less violent, so that's why I'll drop him down to a 4.
Yeah. I'm teetering between 3 and 4. Same reason. The emphasis for him seemed to be the business side, but he did do some really horrible shit, and he probably did more horrible shit than we even know about.
Yeah, for sure.
You know
Nobody talks about it.
because nobody talks about
Yeah.
it. So
And they
I mean,
legitimately never talk about it.
never talk about it. So like, I would say probably a 3. It could have been probably worse if he didn't shift his attention.
I agree with that because I think, for one, he's got 3 himself.
Yeah.
A couple that the gang did, and some of those where you're calling the shot, even if you didn't do it, you're kind of...
It's just business, baby. It's a business.
You're organizing murders and stuff. So I think if he hadn't made the move towards business first, he would have been moving into the 2 range. He would have been getting up there.
To me, it's a mindset thing, and he seemed like, even though he got wrapped up in all the shit, he seemed like he really was aimed more towards not just killing people and not fucking people up.
Yeah, but I think no matter what, you can't go to court for killing 3 yourself and be less than a 3. I mean, he's murdered 3 people.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 in a crowded theater and shit. Like, that's fucking nuts. Like,
Yeah.
this motherfucker ain't taking nothing outside.
The
And they
fact
still-
that he had the opportunity to go legit. It's like, who the fuck kills 3 people? And then they're like, I think I'm going to go legit.
And he, like,
That ain't really my thing.
Like,
his face is like he just looks like a normal guy. You know what I mean? Like, you would not expect that dude to light you up.
Doing this podcast, between finding out about gangsters and the emergence of MMA, is why you never fuck with anybody. Because you never know who's either a jiu-jitsu black belt or a flying dragon head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now you're fucking with this dude because he's
or
like,
the
you
guy
know,
next door.
Yeah.
You never know if they could be a serial killer. You really just don't know.
You know what these guys are fucking
I'm saying,
around.
like, you don't know
and-
people.
So we're for sure gonna call him a DEFCON 3.
Zach, this is Crystal Palace. Sync NORAD has declared DEFCON 3. Scramble all alert aircraft. I repeat, scramble all alert aircraft.
All right. Well, this is Say Hello to the Bad Guy. Thanks for coming, and thanks for listening.